Since the federal government announced plans to introduce a 15% import tariff on petrol and diesel, reactions have continued to pour in from across the country, with civil society organizations warning that the policy could cripple competition, trigger fresh fuel scarcity, and worsen inflation. At a press briefing in Abuja, civil society leaders called on the federal government to immediately suspend the proposed tariff, describing it as anti-people and economically dangerous. Speaking on behalf of the coalition, Ezenwa Nwagu, executive director of the Peering Advocacy and Advancement Center in Africa, said the policy would unfairly tilt the market in favor of a single refinery, the Dangote Refinery, while punishing Nigerians already struggling with high fuel price and inflation.
It's also important to note that the refinery itself imports some of its own blending components. This makes it clear that buying Nigeria, as we say, still depends heavily on foreign inputs, further questioning the logic behind the tariff. Beyond this economics lies the question of market structure and fairness. The proposed tariff will institutionalize a state-backed monopoly, placing pricing, supply, and distribution control in the hands of one company. Already, over 20 marketers depend solely on the refinery for products, and many of them are now part of a new cabal of licensed partners with privileged access. We cannot allow corporate dominance to be disguised as national pride, while citizens pay the price for it every day at the fuel pump. We therefore demand that the federal government immediately suspend the proposed 15% import tariff on petrol and diesel until domestic refining capacity meets at least 80% of national demand. The government should also publicly disclose all refinery supply agreements with marketers to ensure fair access, and direct the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority (NMDPRA) to publish monthly data on refinery output, import volumes, and landed costs to promote transparency.
Also speaking, Director of the Center for Transformative Governance, Jaye Gaskia, faulted the government's justification that the policy would protect local refining capacity. Also in his path, Aigbe, a member of the Civil Society of Nigeria, urged the government to prioritize transparency and policy accountability in petroleum pricing.
The whole idea the government told us is to liberalize the economy for informed competition. Today, our government has not paid attention to even modular refineries that we have it in South Africa. Let there be surplus supply of petroleum products in such a way that even the foreign importers will fade away. It will fade away. And what are we saying? Simple. Who is afraid of competition? Protect the people and not monopolies. Otherwise, it will be a problem for all of us. The media, the citizens, because we all live in this country. You use fuel every day, you use diesel every day, and it has implication in our food supply.
Just so people understand that we are not necessarily against policies of tariffs, we have also said that if we get to a situation where and when domestic refining is meeting the bulk of our domestic needs, then it makes sense to impose tariff on imports. The challenge is that if you do that right now, it means that you are assuming that there will be a transition period, but you are not making a provision for that transition period. And so you are expecting that everybody should go and,
The civil society group insists that protecting competition, not monopoly, is the key to achieving the government's renewed hope agenda and ensuring energy justice for all citizens.